Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Member Dr. Amar Patnaik.
Thank you, sir.
You have 6 minutes.
Since the Honorable Finance Minister is here and my friend Ashwini ji was speaking, let me just start by saying that I served as the Auditor General of Cooperative Societies in Orissa for good 3 years when Ashwini Vaishnav ji was the chairman of the Cuttack Urban Cooperative Bank. So I can tell you with I have a lot of happiness to say that this bill has been brought has been made and brought into this House by Honorable Finance Minister. Must compliment her, because the challenges that the urban cooperative banks faced over a long period of time is well known. It has been there in several committee reports. For example, lack of professional management, conflict of interest, related party transactions, recovery problem, NPA not under control, sometimes wrongly depicted, prudential norms not being followed, poor monitoring mechanism, poor infrastructure, rigid structure, capital inadequacy. A number of these things have been addressed in this bill, and I, on behalf of the party, Biju Janata Dal, support the move of the government and Honorable Finance Minister in particular. The key points which has been stated by Honorable Vaishnav ji relating to scheme for reconstruction, the issuance of shares and securities by these banks, the control over the board of director in consultation with the Registrar of Cooperative Societies, the provision of going to the, allowing the bank to reach out to the market to increase its capital, exemption for some portion of cooperative banks which are involved in agricultural sector, long-term finance. Now, some of these are very good steps in this direction to reduce these challenges. Having said so, and I am very tempted to quote this. This is a Latin phrase which says that quis custodiet ipsos custodes, which means who guards the guardians? Who will watch the watchmen? Who will police the police? Now, this was given by Juvenal from his satires, Plato in his Republic, and Socrates, and as late as John Stuart Mill in Considerations on Representative Government. Why do I say so? I say this because the RBI, which is going to regulate these urban cooperative banks, what is its accountability? What has been its performance? What is the accountability of the regulatory power that it enjoys? Is it going to be overstretched? Now let me quote some figures, latest figures of April-June RBI report itself relating to frauds in public sector banks. 19,964 crore by RBI's own reports between April and June. SBI cornering 2,050 crores, 2,325 cases. Bank of India, 5,124 crores, 47 cases. Several frauds, as Vaishnav ji was saying, all of us know about it, the PNB Bank, the Yes Bank, the ICICI Bank. Now, I'm not saying that the frauds will not happen, but let us look at the mechanism that is available with the RBI. The mechanism is on-site audits and off-site surveillance. How effective are they? Now, when you are adding 1,482 urban cooperative banks and 58 multi-state cooperative banks to safeguard the deposits of 8.6 crore depositors, 4.84 lakh crore of rupees, we have to examine the efficacy of the RBI's mechanism or existing mechanism to monitor these banks. Can RBI regulate? UCBs, the urban cooperative banks, were always under the RBI's regulation supervision to some extent because nobody can do banking in this country without RBI's permission. RBI had some amount of supervision, and despite that, some of the scams that we talked about did happen. But what happened to the responsibility? I am here talking about the RBI. I am not here talking about the government. We must understand the government and RBI are different. RBI is an autonomous institution. Government has acted very fast, very prompt, and as Ashwini was mentioning, but the RBI happens to be an opaque body. What has happened to the internal control mechanisms that they exist, what happens to the action to be taken against auditors when they fail to report some of the issues that has come out in PMC? I think the countrymen need to know about that. RBI had a system of grading system. It came out with the CAMEL system in 2009. It came out with the review of SAF, the supervisory action framework in 2012. It revised it in 2020. Then Raghuram Rajanji came with AQR in 2014. But let us look at the report of K.C. Chakravarti, the Deputy Governor of RBI, earlier ex-governor of Deputy Governor of RBI in 2012. He says that the skill sets of the people within RBI to exercise supervision is very weak. They can be updated only to a certain extent and not more. Why not hire certified fraud examiners? They are internationally certified. Why can't they be hired by RBI to increase its supervisory strength?
Honourable Member, we need to conclude, please.
The most important thing that I would like to say is that while RBI has, it is a good thing that the government has done. The new regulations will put the banks, the urban cooperative banks, under a strict regime of the RBI, but the actual supervision should improve. These banks are giving loans to small loans and MSMEs, therefore there is a high risk. Therefore, their internal control mechanism has to be very robust, and they have to be reviewed from time to time very strictly. Their NDTL has to be monitored. They have to be professionalized. This bill enables RBI. It should now guard the depositors. Yeah. That's what I would end with. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I support the bill. Thank the Finance Minister.
Thank you. Honourable Member Dr. Chandrapal Singh Yadav.
Not present.
Not present. Honourable Member Dr. K. Keshav Rao.
Not present.
Not present. Honourable Member Shri Ramchandra Prasad Singh.